Hello and welcome to Cardinal Clips. My name is Kathy Leadham, Superintendent for the Willmar Public Schools, and we thank you for joining us for this program, which is designed to acquaint you with the people and the programs that make up the Willmar Public Schools. This particular edition of Cardinal Clips is devoted to our Hall of Fame inductees for 2004, and we're very pleased to introduce to you our three Hall of Fame recipients and to help you take a trip down memory lane as we hear about these fabulous accomplishments that these Willmar Public Schools alumni bring to the table. And joining me first amongst our Hall of Fame inductees is Allan Backlund, who's a 1948 graduate of Willmar Senior High School. Welcome, Allan.
I'm very happy to be here.
Well, Allan, it's just really a pleasure to have you here, and certainly you have many accomplishments regarding athletics and activities through your Willmar Public Schools years. You were certainly very, very proficient and a standout star in a couple of sports, football and baseball. Tell us a little bit about what it is that got you to be so involved in athletics and then to be so successful.
Well, I first got interested, I had a cousin, Marv Hawkinson. He was a freshman 1941, I think. And then I followed as a freshman in 44. And he always played, so I don't think I missed a Willmar home game for 30-some years after that, because I followed the team, and then later on I got on down box I was on the down box for 6 years. And then I shifted over I got on the scorebook in basketball in 1954, went to the regional tournament, the state tournament, and I was lucky enough to drive one of the cars down to 54 tournament, and our superintendent at that time, Art Wisness, he got the flu or something, so Ace asked me to drive one of the cars. And of course I got the top quietest students, to ride with me. And I didn't know the cities very well, and they tried to get me to lost, But Ace Oberg was driving the car ahead, and I was driving the middle one, and Al Lucas the last car. So if I get lost, they'd get me turned around someplace, then Lucas would take over, see. But it was just funny because some of them, they knew the cities better than I did. But I met a lot of nice kids that way too. I could name most of them that were riding with me.
Let's talk a little bit about football. What would be one of your fondest memories of your years in playing football for Willmar Senior High School?
I played guard my first 2 years as freshman and sophomore. And Bill and Ivor came and talked to me in the spring of the next year, my junior year then, and they asked if I would like to play center. And I said, oh, yeah, I'd be fine. Well, Ivor says, once you get in at center, he said, you play most of the time. And so I played center. My junior year then, I played every minute of every game, 7 games. And there was 3 of us, Marv Brogren and Bob Hartwick and myself, the 3 of us that played every minute of every game. Well, then came the next year, and I played, I think it was 4 games every minute. Then the 5th game, they took me out the last minute. And the 6th game, they took me out the last minute. And then the last game, I played every minute. And it ended up, I played into 2 years, I played 670 minutes out of 672.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a lot of field time. What did it take in those days to have that kind of conditioning and stamina?
Well, of course, I grew up on the farm, and I know I got a card one year there from Bill Hansen, and He said, I'm leaving it up to your dad to get you in shape. So I did all the work around we were a family that we milked the cows by hand, but my dad still managed to get to most of the games, even out of town.
So in this day and age, we have all this fancy conditioning equipment, and we work so hard to get people in shape. But in your heyday, definitely a lot of that conditioning and stamina came from just plain hard work out on your farm.
We did a lot of hay baling, like Norm Sexta is going to say, and all the work around the farm. And it wasn't like it is today, where they sit in the air-conditioned cab, on the tractor. And but I say that's what helped more than anything to get yourself in shape.
Well, how about baseball? What prompted you to want to be a baseball player for the Willmar Cardinals?
Well, my dad was a town ball player, and that's why I was interested in baseball. And they hadn't had baseball in Willmar High School for several years because of the war. But Donnie Hansen, a good friend of mine, we went over and talked to Howard Iverson. And it was his first year here too, and we said that we'd like to get a baseball team started. I think we played 3 games that first year, and ever after that, why, I lettered the next 3 years. I didn't letter the first year, but then the next year I played outfield all the time, and everybody would rather play center field. But Howard told me that we need your arm in right field. So I played there, and I even had a couple of assists after a putout from the right field. But I played for then 2 years, and I played Legion ball, and so one summer we played both Legion and high school all summer.
So in those days, the baseball for the high school went through the summer months.
Well, it did 1 year anyway, I know for sure. But we really did had a lot of games. We'd have a couple games a week then, Legion in high school, and met a lot of good friends there. And tonight at the banquet, my good friend Charles Goff is going to introduce me. And he was on the baseball team, and he did sports for the Willmar High School and the Tribune. And then Dwayne Netland took over 2 years later for the high school sports, and so I've been pretty good friends of all those guys.
It is just amazing, those friendships that become so close through the high school years, and especially when you're involved in activities and being a part of a team. And I can tell as we're talking that was very, very meaningful to you. After you graduated, you went into farming and have spent a lifetime in the farming business. During those years, and as you reflected back on your years in the Willmar Senior High School and participating in activities, what did you really see, Allan, as some of the benefits from participating and how that helped you throughout your life?
It got me so I could visit with people, and I enjoy visiting with people. And I've got friends that I got when I first came to Willmar High School, and some of them are here today. Harlan Brogren is 60 years since I met him, and he was just a little 7th grader, I think, and we've been friends ever since. I should have had my cap on, I suppose, here. He brought me a cap. It says Hall of Fame on it. He brought me that from North Carolina, and we've just been real close ever since. And there's a lot of other ones.
Well, that's really quite a statement about those high school years and how you develop friendships that have just lasted a lifetime. And Allan, we just really congratulate you for all of your accomplishments. It is so much fun on behalf of the Willmar Public Schools through our Cardinal Pride organization to honor you for all of those wonderful accomplishments and to congratulate you for just being an outstanding alumni from the Willmar Public Schools.
Yeah, I always stick up for Willmar High School.
Well, that we like to see, and we appreciate your being here, and we hope you enjoy all aspects of being a Hall of Fame recipient. Thank you very much.
Thank you.